Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the Grit Culture. I got this one is interesting. It's crazy. It's amusing, but not amusing at the same time because you're dealing with people's lives. But this just gives you another insight on how you have a lot of people in high positions and positions to affect people's lives, and how, the shit that goes on behind the scenes, the stuff that happens. A lot of people get railroaded just because it could be any old reason. So, man, take a look at this story, man. This is a judge out of Cleveland who was doing all type of crazy stuff, man, during the pandemic, giving people sentences over very small things, very arbitrary things. And it's just take a look for yourself, man. This is crazy. Let's get into it.
Judge went before the Ohio Supreme Court. Judge Pinky Carr.
Hold on, just one moment.
Is accused of dozens of incidents of misconduct over the past 2 years. Today, a Cleveland judge went before the Ohio Supreme Court. Judge Pinky Carr is accused of dozens of incidents of misconduct over the past 2 years, including holding hearings after the pandemic forced the courthouse to close. And today, her attorney offered an explanation about why, and in part blamed menopause. Our State House reporter Morgan Trow explains how the state Supreme Court justice...
Whew, man. Y'all women better be on top of this, because this ain't a good look for you. This basically implies that you're not able to do your job properly because of something that's natural and biological to you. So, y'all better be on top of this and check this lady. Well, let's get into it.
...is reacted.
Defendant was due in court at 8:30.
A Northeast Ohio judge and her legal counsel got another chance to defend her from allegations of misconduct in the state's highest court on Tuesday morning. Cleveland Municipal Court Judge Pinky Susan Carr is accused of more than 100 serious incidents from 2018 to 2020, most notably issuing arrest warrants for defendants who didn't appear for court during the government-issued stay-at-home order in the pandemic.
He failed to appear.
She also allegedly jailed defendants without suitable reason, including when a defendant rolled their eyes.
There is no question that the conduct engaged in by Judge Pinky Carr was egregious.
It may seem attorney Nicholas Froning is arguing on behalf of the disciplinary council, and it's...
During the pandemic is when they had the courts closed and everything, so people couldn't come to court, but issuing them... Think about, man, going to jail is a serious fucking thing, man. It should be taken very seriously, and anybody that abuses the penal system or whatnot and imprisoning somebody against their will and stuff like that, especially over, doing it, corruption or whatever it may be, it's got to be taken extremely serious, because not only that, you're affecting people's lives, man, their jobs and their families, stuff like that. It's extremely inconvenient, even if it's just for a couple hours or something. Ain't nobody got time for that shit, man. So that's extremely serious. And I'm wondering how many of these people were black, because you got a black judge saying somebody rolled their eyes, people didn't show up to court even though the court wasn't open. So how many of these people were black? And we talk about, hey, you may, let's be realistic. You have a higher chance of, it should be based off character, but people that look like you, when you have somebody in that position, a lot of times it's a bigger chance of you having a favorable outcome, I guess. I'd like to believe that, because you may look like family, you look like a family member, or something, may look like their son and stuff like that. But then you have a lot of times that you got these Negroes out here that they go, shoot, they worse than the white folks and stuff, because they trying to prove something. Officers, all type of stuff. So shit, they ready to throw you in jail at the slightest thing, man. Who knows, man?
Case against Carr, but you would be wrong. He says she's admitted to many of her wrongdoing, so the argument is no longer did she commit the allegations, but rather why did she do it? The main reason for the judge's misbehavior is one that made the Supreme Court justices skeptical.
It's not even an investigation or anything like that. It's been admitted wrongdoing. This is a serious thing, man. This is somebody in the judge's seat, man, in a position, high, important position with a lot of responsibility.
How does sleep apnea or menopause contribute to lying?
Well, it affects her mood. It affects her ability to think clearly.
Froning believes the disciplinary council didn't review Carr's mental health issues fairly, and he wants the Supreme Court to have the council reevaluate. The council's attorney, Joseph Caligari, says that they did review it. He says he is sticking with his recommendation of a 2-year suspension for the judge.
2 years would be a sufficient.
Wait, is the council... So they didn't view her mental health issues fairly, right? So, and I'm sure, he's hired. He's a hired attorney. So of course, just like, they got a job to do. But with a mental issue like that, especially to something that affects your judgment, you shouldn't be on the job, period. And then they gave a recommendation of 2 years suspension. She should be gone. They need to be extremely harsh with these things. It's just like with police or whatnot. And they're giving them these slaps on the wrist. She should never be able to sit back in a chair again. Nah.
Sanction that would...
Council reevaluate. The council's attorney, Joseph Caligari, Froning believes the disciplinary council didn't review Carr's mental health issues fairly, and he wants the Supreme Court to have the council reevaluate. The council's attorney, Joseph Caligari, says that they did review it. He says he is sticking with his recommendation of a 2-year suspension for the judge.
2 years would be a sufficient sanction that would not only recognize her misconduct, but also just deter other members of our judiciary from engaging in a similar type of misconduct.
Froning says he understands that Carr needs to be reprimanded, but he's...
Okay, so that guy was against her, but her personal attorney said they didn't review her stuff fairly. Hey, even with that, this is a slap on the wrist. I don't know, that's a slap on the wrist, man. 2 years, that'll come and go. You want to make it big, send a huge message out. Get rid of her. Get rid of her. Talking about menopause. That's serious, man, because that was that implied. And then think about this. As she sees this is her reasoning. As a black woman, this is her reason. And I don't know what type of people, so let me not even say that. I don't know what the people look like, who she was putting in jail or anything like that. We do know that black people make up the majority of people, who are incarcerated here in America. But I don't know. I don't know what county she's in. Maybe they said it in there in this video and I missed it. But just not even on a racial issue, just, in general. If she's acting like this, imagine what other judges do that we don't see. Because on the daily basis, because they not feeling good. Shit, their mental health is not right. And this is an indictment on women. This is why it's like, shit, women need to be out there like, hey, close your mouth. Speak for yourself. That's on you. Because you're not about to make it a thing, make it an issue to where, well, shit, you make this argument. Because once you're able to make this argument, then you're going to have the next judge coming through saying that that's a viable reason for you to have 100 counts of misconduct, any accounts of misconduct in that position. So, what does this sign say? I apologize to Simone and all police officers for being an idiot. Looks like says idiot. Calling in, threatening to kill you. I'm sorry, it will never happen again. I don't know what this is. Looks silly. I don't know if she's holding some other person's sign or something. But anyway, just imagine, man, that they think that they're going to be able to get away. You got other women think they're going to be able to get away with this because they having menopause or they on their period or something like that. Ain't no excuse. And if that's the case, then all you're saying is, shit, women shouldn't be on the damn board, right? So, better watch your mouth. Watch what you say, watch your words, because you're implying something that's ridiculous. Extremely ridiculous. So, shouldn't be no give her no leeway. She should be fired immediately. Stuff like this has to be taken seriously.
Asking for a lesser consequence.
Suspend her for 24 months with 18 months stayed.
The court will now be evaluating the oral arguments to see where the case goes from here. At the Supreme Court, Morgan Trout, News 5.
And that's funny. She don't even see any wrongdoing in what she's done because she's off asking for a lesser consequence. Yeah, man, get her up out of here. She sees no wrongdoing and, ruining other people's lives. Jailing people because they're rolling their eyes. Like, who are you? You got one thing to do is, read off the